Okay, so in this poster you're looking at the Zukunft. So we're going to talk about the simple future tense in German. Now the simple future tense in German always takes the verb werden, W-E or D-E-N. So it's conjugated there in the pattern ich werde, du wirst, sie wird, wir werden, ihr werdet, sie werden. So going from I will to they will. Now the one thing to note is that in green I've marked with a red correction pen ich will. So ich will in German means I want. So make sure you never say ich will when you mean ich werde. So the example below is ich werde Fußball spielen. We use ich werde, the pronoun ich werde has the future tense. Excuse me, the rest of your sentence follows, and then you have spielen. So the verb, which is the infinitive, which always ends in en, is at the end of the sentence. Okay, so it's important to know that, like sein, which always takes a nominative case, werden also takes a nominative case. So I've discussed what the nominative case is in future videos. If you do not know, just ask your instructor or your teacher to revise this. There's many videos also on YouTube or on the internet to explain what this is simply. The nominative case is the subject of a sentence. So in the normal German construction, you would know that you normally have the construct SVTMP, which is subject, verb, time, manner, place. So how do we use werden in a sentence? Well, quite simply. You have the ich werde Fußball spielen, so you have the verb in second position, which does not change, so you have werde. If you have a second verb in a sentence, it always goes to the end of the construct. So in my class you would see SVTMP, and then in parenthesis you would have the letter V and the subscript 2, which is the position of the second verb when a second verb is used. So ich werde Fußball spielen, as you will see in red on the poster. So as we have stated before, the first verb in a sentence never deviates. It always is the second idea in the sentence. However, everything else can change position depending on how you wish to stylize your sentence. So for example, we have certain examples here of time expressions. Später, which is later. In der Zukunft, in the future. Nächstes Jahr, next year. Nächste Woche, next week. Nächster Monat, next month. So the word next is an adjective, which obviously, as I said, means next. So because it's an adjective, and because it's in a nominative case, if it's a das word, it will take es, so it's nächstes Jahr. If it's a die word, the adjective takes e, so nächste Woche. Because it's a der word, in the nominative case, it takes nächster Monat. Now, pay attention, because sometimes you will also see nächsten Monat, N-E-Umlaut C-H-S-T-E-N Monat. When nächsten Monat is a start of a sentence, that is the accusative part of a sentence being put to the start of a sentence. So again, you just need to know a little bit about what word is in what case, whether the nominative, accusative or dative. And the signifier, if you want to be like a detective and work backwards, the ER will let you know that the nominative case is being used instead of the accusative case. Otherwise, next would take en in the accusative case. So let's continue. Im Sommer, im Winter, im Herbst, im Frühling. So you use im always for seasons. Or im Januar, im Februar, im März for months also. Am Wochenende. Okay, am Wochenende. So on the poster you have SVTMP. If you want to put the time expression at the start of a sentence, the structure will change to TV and the subject will go after the verb MP. So if you look at the example, später werde ich Fußball spielen. Okay? So if you're using an expression, the verb always comes second, so it's werde. The subject immediately afterwards, and the sentence continues on as per normal. Now just to finish, just a little bit of introduction to the active versus passive voice. The active voice and the passive voice are not tenses, however they are modes of speech. So the active voice, as an example here, on the poster, sie sieht ihn, she sees him. So the subject of the sentence is the focus of the sentence in the same way as I read the book. I am doing something, I am reading the book. The passive voice is used less frequently because the active voice is used for 90% of habitual speech, and it's used in writing and journalism. The passive voice is used in contrast to the active voice by placing emphasis on the subject of a sentence that has something done to it. So for example, instead of saying she sees him, in the active voice, the passive voice would be he is seen. Wird gesehen. And for that you would use werden. I stated that I read the book. In the passive voice, that would be the book is being read by me. So again, the emphasis is not on I, or the person doing the action in the sentence. However, in the passive voice, the emphasis is on the subject of the sentence, the receiver of the action. So you normally use in the simple future tense werd. Okay? So again, that's just a small introduction. You need to focus more so on using the simple present tense of ich werde down to